Okay. I never realized how horrible my hair looks until I get, like, on video. And then I realize it looks really bad. um, it is 11:20. So obviously I'm having a late day because David is working a late night. And I thought I would come on here. And I haven't got to work on the possum anymore today because I had to call God, Jesus, and everybody about that stupid insurance problem. So I've not gotten a lot accomplished today, and then I was so tired I just had to lay down for a while. So I've not had the most productive day. I've not had the most productive day compared to the last couple of days because I've not felt good. Hi, Denise. Denise, I'm going to the post office tomorrow. Well, I say I am. David is. So that everything that you ordered will be in the mail, and then I'll give you tracking stuff. So I'm going to work on my possum because he has not changed because I've been so freaking busy today. And I'm going to drink me a Coca-Cola because I haven't had caffeine in eons. And I've had a crappy day. I really think I deserve a Pepsi. I'm going to drink a Pepsi. But I've had one of the most horrible days. And well, we like to get stuff out super quick. And it was like super cold and nasty here today, but tomorrow's not supposed to be that ugly. So, hey Priscilla, I took a nap, so the world feels a little bit better. But I'm just here to tell you, the days that I have to get up and I have to go into bulldog mode, and y'all know I have bulldog mode. Well, my pancreas won't let me have a stiff drink, or I'd be drinking a rum runner, because I love rum runners. But because my pancreas is affected by my RSD, I cannot drink any adult beverages. Otherwise, I would be drinking a rum runner right now, going, Jesus Lord, I'm done with this world. It's been a day. Now, y'all know I used to prosecute murderers, parolees, and send them back to prison. I have no problem being an absolute giant turd, pain in somebody's butt, tell somebody exactly what I think about them, and do it in such descriptive terms that they have to think about it for 5 minutes before they can respond to me. I have no problem being that person. I don't like to be that person, but I have no problem being that person. And so today when I was calling everybody because they told me, oh no, your HRA account emptied last June. I literally went, and y'all, this is not going to be child friendly today because I'm pissed, I'm irritated, and y'all are just going to get probably the gruffer side of me. So if you have children in the room, send them away. Mama Liz is not going to be child safe this evening, so just know that. They said, your HRA account was depleted by June. I said, the fuck? I said, how was it depleted by June? I said, my husband didn't even go to the doctor until like August. I said, and then he had the one issue in November. So, how do you explain that one? And I've got it on my app where I can look up all my EOBs, you know. And I'm like, and I'm also seeing from this hospital he went to like $1,500 worth of bills, but I certainly don't see a $10,000 bill. I can't find the EOB for the $10,000 bill, and I can't find the EOB that says I still owe $5,500. What the heck is going on? And then she said, oh, well, let me look into it. Okay, now, my Blue Cross Blue Shield is completely separate from my HRA. Completely separate entities. Last year, they were separate. Never the twain shall meet. They were separate. In order to use the HRA account, my husband was told that he had to go onto the website, register, and activate his account, And then he had to take pictures of his receipts, send them in, request they be billed, request his cards, give the card to the physician or the agency that needed to bill, and sign a paper that they could bill as HRA. Whole convoluted process. I mean, it's really kind of like, it's like more legal issues than if I was getting a warrant signed by the judge. And we were like, okay. I was super sick last year, so my husband was like, I'm just going to wait till Liz feels better to deal with this, because he's not very good with stuff like that. And he looked at me several times and he said, just let it sit, let it build, and when we need it, it'll be there, because I'm sure something will happen. Because it's me and him, you know. Something will happen that we'll need it, and it'll be there. So don't freak out about it. It's fine. So at the end of the year, when he had that kidney stone, and we were freaking out, there was always in the back of our head, okay, well, that happened last year. Let's, we hit up the company about the HRA, and they immediately drug it out to the end of the year, and then they said, oh, the end of the year happened, and now we've switched, that money's gone, you can't access it. And I thought, no, if it happened last year and it was billed last year, but there's a 120-day window for medical billing, then the HRA should still honor what happened last year. Don't play this game with me. I've medical billed. I'm not stupid. And so then they're like, well, your HRA is empty. It was empty in June. How is it empty in June? My husband is never sick. How explain this to me? I really need to know. So then she proceeds to tell me that they paid on all of my claims to all of my doctors and my ENT and my MRIs, and I'm like, no you didn't, because I still got a bill for that MRI, and I had to call the MRI company and say, dude, I've got 3 insurances, the last of which is Medicaid, and you can't privately bill me, and you got to eat that one. I'm not stupid. I had Medicaid last year. They kept me until February of this year, and I appreciate the holy crap out of them, because without them, I would have been in a pickle. But I know very well how the law works with them. And then her story changed. Well, it went for like all your doctor visits and stuff to where you didn't pay your copay. Honey, I have 3 insurances. I didn't have a copay. I had a very tiny deductible, which I met like with the first visit of every year. And that was it. She said, well, it went to pay for your prescriptions. No, it didn't, because I never gave the pharmacy, any of the HRA money. Hi, Dragonfly. And I never told them I had an HRA, and I paid out of pocket and had to use GoodRx for anything that wasn't covered. So why would I be using GoodRx if my pharmacist could access an HRA account? So she kept backing down, and I said, how come all my EOBs that show me still owing money have no mention of any HRA payments? I said, that seems a little fishy. And then she goes, oh, hang on. I've just found out where we owe you $1,055. I said, how about you find $5,000 more? So she was not very happy with me. I was not very happy with her. So I told her, in no uncertain terms, I believe something has happened where you all have illegally accessed my HRA account. You're not allowed to. Only my husband, and it's solely under his name, so only my husband can start this HRA. It takes a mother frickin' act of Congress to do it. He never accessed the website. He never authorized for the cards to be sent. He never gave any cards to any providers, and he never signed any bill authorization notices. So I don't know how you're accessing this money unless it's illegally. I said, and since I was a Medicare Medicaid patient last year, and you're saying you applied it to me, when I know that when you bill my Blue Cross Blue Shield, my Medicare, and then my Medicaid, which was hanging on at the very end, after you bill those, because I'm a Medicaid patient, after that, whatever's left, by law, because you've signed a CMS contract, state and federally, you have to go, well, shit, that's all I can get. I have to sign the rest of that off. I said, but you didn't. I said, it's illegal to privately bill me after that. It's illegal to privately bill a Medicaid patient after that. But you then billed my HRA, which is billing me, which is illegal. I said, so I hate to tell you this, but I'm going to find a federal attorney and I'm going to make you walk funny for a few months. And she was like, well, that's not necessary. That's not. I said, listen, I'm getting screwed. And I said, listen, I'm dying. I have a terminal diagnosis. I'm not in this world long. If I have to wreak havoc until you put me in the ground, I will wreak havoc. And I will wreak such good havoc that when you put me in the ground, you will sigh a sigh of relief that I'm gone. Because I am that person. So they're not happy with me. And she was like, well, that's not very polite. And I said, honey, I passed that polite about 3 months ago. I said, I don't have to be polite no more. I said, me and the Lord Jesus have an understanding. I said, he's going to take me home early. And I said, I can act a fool for a little while if I need to get stuff in order before I leave. So, I then called a medical advocacy program. I then called several attorneys. I've had a couple actually respond. They don't know if it's something they want to take on or not. But since it's straight up theft, I was a parole officer and probation officer and all that stuff. I have reached out and contacted some of the state's prosecuting attorneys to go, hey, do you think if I come up to the DA's office, he would allow me to take charges against these people? So that is a thought that I've had, because my HRA is gone. $6,000 is gone. It doesn't show on any of my EOBs. I never signed anything for it to be used. David never signed anything for it to be accessed, started, and used. At least three doctors billed it repeatedly last year. Then none had authority to do so. And now that David needed it to pay for that ER visit, that was kind of our last hope, it's gone. So I've not been the nicest person today. So I either get off the phone and people are laughing or they're crying. And you're like, and I know you're like, oh, does it make you feel bad to make people cry? No. It does not. Not at all. Not at all. And then today, the Popo pulled up in my driveway, which happens a lot. Like, I'm ex-law enforcement, so it happens a lot. So, like, if they have an idea of one of my ex-people is doing something, they'll come to me and, like, get a history or, you know. And so I was like, oh, crap, what do they want from me? Well, they didn't want anything from me. They actually wanted to ask us questions about some people that live next to us, because there's been a lot of property show up on their property. It's very expensive and they don't work and have problems. And I was like, they drag this in all the time. I said, I call you all the time and tell you this, and you just don't do anything about it. I said, and this is one of the young men that I actually worked with and kind of trained when I was a probation parole officer. He was a new deputy, and so I kind of walked him through a lot of stuff that he didn't understand for court and stuff. And I looked at him, I said, but thank you for pulling into my driveway, making it look like I'm a tattletale and making every eye look on me. And said, so now I'm going to have to sit everywhere I sit tonight with 2 freaking guns within 3 foot of me because of these stupid freaking idiots that may get high and come and decide to pay a little visit to me. I said, great work there, dummy. And his partner that was riding along with him was like, who was she to talk to you like that? And I looked at him and I said, I'm the woman giving you the information to make your arrest. I said, when you build your career off my information, I said, I can talk to you however the heck I want to. So that's the day I've had. It's been one of those. My husband left for work and said, are you going to be okay here tonight? And I said, I'm locked and loaded. I'm good. I had such a bad day. If somebody was to break through my front door, I'd be like, goody, goody, goody. I get to take my anger out. Oh, Lord, it's been one of those days, y'all. But, yeah, we effectively had $6,000 stolen The Livingston Hospital will not even discuss financial aid or charity programs with us. I said, oh, but I bet you if I came in and had a drug addicted child that got took by CPS, y'all would give me that program non-stop every day, 5 seconds, and feel sorry for me. But because I'm a decent person that works and pays bills, oh no, I'm just your mule to get money from. Just harness me and make me work because you know I will. She's like, ma'am, that's not how I think of you at all. I said, really? Because it's how it comes across to me. So I've not had a very good day. Not had a very good day. I've not had very good interactions with people. So I've got to call in with the State Department of Insurance. I've got a couple of attorneys that are supposed to call me back tomorrow. And then at that point, if nothing works, then I guess I'm going to have to do a police report for stolen funds, because in my EOBs, I have no receipts, no knowledge, no listings of anywhere where my HRA money has went. The insurance can pull it up, but they certainly didn't put it on any of my profiles and any of my EOBs. Isn't that funny? I mean, when you pay bills, aren't you supposed to put them on the EOBs to show everything that paid that bill and to understand where your money and your finances went? Yeah, No, HRA doesn't show up on any of my EOBs. None. I went through all of them. But Blue Cross Blue Shield could pull it up. And I said, how can you access my HRA when I didn't give you authority to do so? Oh, well, I can see what they've paid. Okay, yeah, but I didn't give you authority to do so. Well, it's just, if they pay, they tell us they pay. I did not give them authority to pay, and I did not give you authority to know that I paid. To know that they paid. So, I'm confused. And she's like, well, you just don't understand the process. No, honey, that's the problem. I don't know how to make it any more plain. I had $6,000 in an account that should not have been touched for me because I was a Medicaid patient. It should not have been billed toward anything that I had left over because I was a Medicaid patient. Had 3 insurances. Did you not suck enough tits with 3 insurance companies? You just needed one more. You were that little runt hog that had to get in there and get that last little bit of milk. And now when we have an actual issue, you want to send me a bill that's going to financially ruin me. You're like my top 10 most hated people list right now, woman, and you need to know that. Well, that's not very nice. I didn't call you to be nice. I called you to clear up a problem. You need to really think about why you have this job and if you really want to be here, because I don't think you have the heart for it. And David's like, Elizabeth, be nice. I can't be nice. I cannot be nice when I know I'm being screwed. I cannot be nice. I could not be nice when I had parolees that did stupid things. I had a parolee that held the La Follette Hospital at gunpoint, cut off their telephone and electricity. You want to know why? Because his girlfriend went in to visit her grandmother and spent too much time in the hospital. And you think I was nice to him when I got him in custody? He made TBI's top 10. I had to go back into the office at 2 a.m. and do an emergency parole warrant. Had to sleep under my goddamn freaking desk until morning because I worked 2 hours away from home. And when they got him in custody and he had spit and spat and cussed and ranted and raved on all the COs, and they had him in a chair chained to the floor and a spit mask. I said, I need to talk to him. And they said, Elizabeth, that's not a wise decision. He's not in a very good mood. I said, he hasn't met me yet today, because I am raving mad. And I went in there and I preached a sermon to him that made him want, if he could have crawled down the drain in the middle of the floor, he would have crawled down the drain in the middle of the floor. And to this day, his family still apologizes to me. And he was absolutely apologetic. And but he's still in prison. He ain't got out yet. I guarantee you when he gets out, he'll still be apologizing to me. But I'm just that person. I do not mind to turn into an uber asshole. I don't mind. I'm really nice. I want to have great interactions with everybody. I want I want to show love and compassion, and I want to have a, you know, a positive impact on this world. But y'all, like I said last night, there's a time to stand up for yourself, and there is a reason God gave us an internal aggression mode, and it is for protection. And I have absolutely no problem using it. And I have had a very rough couple of days. But what I basically am finding out is that nobody cares that they stole this HRA money. That most HRA accounts are basically manipulated for funds that miraculously appear and suck it out dry, and you never get to use it. But if I have enough energy within me, what I'm going to do is make a terribly large example of this agency. And my husband's boss was like, well, you need to tell your wife to pop down. And my husband said, you go meet my wife, stand toe to toe with my wife, look at my wife in the face, you tell that woman to pop down. He said, if you come home, he said, if you come back to the factory walking, he said, then okay. He's like, I believe she'll pop down. And his boss was like, she's that evil. And David's like, have you met her? So, but, you know, I told the guy at work, I said, there's got to be some kickback for you, because if the money's not used, it goes away at the end of the year. I said, so if it's fictitiously used, then who gets it? If it's fictitiously billed, like if my doctor really didn't bill, and my pharmacist really didn't bill, and my ENT really didn't bill, they just saw that I was going there and they fabricated bills to say that it disappeared, that it was used, but it didn't get used, where did it go? And I plan to know. Because that's just how I am. I plan to know. I plan to know. And anybody that gets in my way will just have to deal with me. And I'm not a very pleasant person right now. So, and this is, I don't enjoy waking up and being in this frame of mind, because it's exhausting. When my health was good and I was a parole officer, I could switch channels. I could go into parole officer mode and then switch back and go back to, and it didn't exhaust me. It exhausts me to now. It exhausts me mentally, emotionally, and physically. But I think they know that, and I think they think that's why they can take advantage of me. So, you know something, by golly, I'll just, you know, I will just work through it. I will take appropriately timed naps, and I'm going to stay on course, because I'm like a snapping turtle. I ain't letting go till it thunders, and even then I'm probably going to have to think about it for a while. So, I've had a really craptastic day. Nobody wants to help me. Everybody's like, oh, well, you live in Appalachia. You probably don't understand. Please stop calling me stupid, because I am geographically located in a place that is not affixed up your ass. It's not like I had to go to Oprah school in Africa. I have an education. I'm not stupid. You can talk to me as if you're talking to a person. So yeah, I've not been the nicest person today. And I do have a mouth on me. And I have a sailor's mouth on me when I get mad. And I'm absolutely, positively sure that when I get to the pearly gates, St. Peter's going to say, oh, you're going to have to answer for all these words. And I'm going to say, yes, but didn't I have such a great vocabulary? Oh, Lord. But that's just where I've been today. So I haven't got to do any work that I wanted to do today, because all of my mother freaking energy went to stupid people doing stupid things. So, I've had one of those days. So, yeah, it's been one of those days. I am at a loss. Like, no one wants to help me. As a former sailor, I can confirm that. I can get very colorful. Like, I keep it really low-key on here, but I say certain things, and my husband will turn around and be like, is the devil going to pop out of you? And When I'm in pain or when I hurt myself, that's when the words really come out. And I don't care what they say, it's proven that when you are in pain and you cuss, it alleviates the pain. It does something in the brain, much like music, and it creates more room for the pain. And so when David was trying to pick me up out of the bed, one of the first few days that my back was out, it was it was bad. And he was just like my husband who does not cuss. He was like, so I scare my husband quite a bit. But it's just part of it. It's just part of it. And, you know, when you deal half, I mean, you know, you spend half your life dealing with convicts and murderers, you learn to speak the language. So, I have no problem being a giant turd, which apparently is what they want me to be right now. So, that's the plan. I'm going to be a giant turd until I hear what I want to hear. So I have a couple more patient advocates that I can call tomorrow that I know. I'm really hoping the lawyer calls me back. I'm really hoping that those couple of attorneys call me back. I've got to do the call with the State Department of Insurance. And I'm not calling my local physician's office to see if they have been billing. Because I don't want to give them a heads up in case they have and they find out it was wrong and they try to cover their tracks. So I'm not telling any of my local people about the issue. I'm going straight above them to try to get records and stuff to see if it was actually them billing or if it was somebody billing in their name to get the money. So I'm keeping it on the down low until I know who I need to go after. So this is going to be, you know, and at this point in my life, I should be able to just enjoy my days and just like ease out of the world without any of this trouble. No. So at this point, I've just decided if you come into my world and you make a speed bump for me that causes me problems, target. You're just a target to me. You're just a target. You're just a target. And you are going to absolutely 100% get my wrath. The good people will get the good parts of me, and the turds will get the rest. And we'll just see how well they enjoy that. Because I'm done. Done being nice and being screwed over, which is basically what this feels like. So I've decided to give him gray yarn fur hair. So he's going to be all the way down here like this, and then he'll have some pink around his pouch, and then he'll have his little pink hands and his little pink feet. Still haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do yarn like up in the back of his head and a little bit right here. But then I may just do a fabric paint with my pin set on his little face and make his little mouth. So I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the evening because David's working late. I have to stay away in case my crackhead neighbors try to get vigilante and come over and cause me problems. You know something? I'm dealing with some crap this week that should not even be on the Richter. Just, you know, this should not. This should not even be on like anyone's to-do list. Not at all. And it's all because that stupid deputy pulled in my driveway to ask questions. Call my landline. I've had it for 20 years. Oh, he made me so mad. So, if I don't get satisfaction, then tomorrow I'm going to start going back to my DA and lawyer friends and court acquaintances and be like, what the crap do I need to do? Because oddly enough, this is one of those gray areas where it's set up perfectly for people to screw you over and steal you blind. So if they ever give you an option for an HRA account, don't do it. just set you up a savings account at the bank and funnel your money into it, because the HRA account will disappear. You will never know where it went. It will never show up on your EOBs. You will never get told it's being used. And it will be gone. And by the time you have an emergency and you think it's there, it will be non-existent. And sadly, I live a lifestyle where it's so simple to where, yes, you know, $6,000 to $8,000 can cripple us blindly. So my husband said I needed to start dancing it. So the Catch-22, which is like a stripper club in Knoxville, it's an ongoing joke. We've never been to a strip club. My husband has never. He would turn inside out and die of fright. But he was like, maybe you're going to have to take up dancing at the Catch-22. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm a fat girl. It would have to be the Catch-44. Looked at him the other night. I said, I'm fixing to put a freaking video camera in the house and clean the house in tight fat girl clothes to make some money. And he looked at me and he goes, I don't care. And I looked at him and I was like, I would not do that. And he was like, some women sell pictures of their feet. And I was like, okay, well, my feet grew up in tactical gear and army fatigues, so they're not the prettiest, so I don't guess I'm going to be selling pictures of feet. But, yeah, we try to find the humor in it, but now today's not been a humorous day. I've had a really... literally, people that have walked up to me and they've seen my face, they've been like, abort mission. Because my face has been like, cause me some shit, I dare you. Double dog dare you, because I would love to unload on you, because I've been waiting for a target all daggum day. So, yeah, I've had a rough day. Had a really rough day. Really, 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 really rough day. And I don't begrudge rich people. They made their money. You know, apparently they're smarter than me. Found a better opportunity, had a better talent, had a better skill set, made better decisions. That's fine. I don't begrudge anybody their money that they've earned. But I do get really irritated when it seems like the poor people that barely make ends meet turn into the bowl that gets scraped to fund everybody else's little endeavors. So I get a little irritated with crap like that. And I don't like to feel like I am being looked upon as lesser than or stupid enough to pull a fast one. And so this is, I mean, I told David, I said, this would probably take over the remainder of my life. Because somebody's gonna pay. It's gonna happen. Somebody will do some jail time or have some probation or have a huge amount of restitution. Somebody will pay. Because I know what has been done is illegal. And it violates HIPAA. And I'm going to follow it through. So, but isn't it just amazing that none of my EOBs show any HRA payments anywhere? Oh, and then I said, why do I still have a $1,000 ambulance bill and a $5,500 ER bill at the end of the year? Oh, that's his deductible. But on the paperwork it says we've met all of our out-of-pocket expenses. So shouldn't it pay at the greater rate? Nobody can explain that one to me either. So I think, and if I don't have any satisfaction, I think what I'm going to do is call Representative Kiesling I had a really good relationship with him when I worked for the state. And I'm just going to be like, dude, point me in the right direction. I need help. So, but that's why I'm like, so I know someone else's, and I've actually had one other person contact me and say, yes, my mother went through the same thing and found a very good attorney in New Jersey. Do you care where the attorney is? And I'm like, no, because it will be a federal case. Because I am a Medicaid, Medicare, and because CMS is a federal entity, so it will be a federal. It can be a federal case. So I don't mind where the attorney is at all. And a matter of fact, I think the HRA account was out of a different state, so it would have to be a federal. It'd have to probably be a federal issue anyway. So that might turn into something. But I'm just appalled. So when I learned these horrible things about life and how they manipulate milk and honestly just make people with terminal diagnosis be like, just knock me in the head and bury me in the backyard because I'm useless. I'm causing you more money. I'm bleeding you dry. I'm useless. No one should feel that way. Not when I had 3 insurances, 2 of which bled me dry every month. But the Medicaid at the end should have protected me from any of the HRA billing or the privatized billing. They have to cut that off. They can't privately, it's illegal to privately bill a Medicaid patient for anything outstanding because by law, they made a contract federally to where they get a bill what they get a bill, and then poof, they can't ask for anything else, and they have to write it off. But these went and got into my HRA account, which I did not set up, and were just milking it like a Guernsey. So, yeah. I normally have a lot of trust in people, but it's leaving me real quick right now. So I've been in a very horrible mood today, and I've had to deal with a lot of stuff I didn't want to deal with. So I'm not very happy about this. I don't want to file bankruptcy. Because, what little bit we do own, they would probably take. Our land and our home, they would probably take. And I don't want to file bankruptcy over such a little bit. I want to take a 30-foot pole and ram it up the rectum of these people that have stole me blind. So bankruptcy seems like a really passe move to me when what I really want to do is cause severe pain. Everybody's sitting there going, oh Jesus, we thought she was nice. I am nice until I'm not. I tell you that a lot. And I have a line. And I hit that line today. I hit it today. I've not been able to watch YouTube videos. I love Upchurch. I've not been able to take any joy in any of his new music, any of his new Instagram things, because I just watch him play with toys, or I watch him have great days where he's doing fun things, and I'm sitting here going, I'm fighting for my existence. Fighting for my existence. Fighting for my insurance that says it was supposed to do something and it's not. Fighting for people to not steal me blinds because I'm sick and try to have these savings plans that these employers offer. And it's just very hard for me to watch somebody that has got an enjoyable life right now. It's just really hard. It's really hard. Like, I want to do the interview with him, and I love him to death, and I don't begrudge him any of his fame and anything like that, but, I've not watched any of the bigger YouTube people that I watch that have these fantastical lives, because kind of right now I'm at this point, like, I don't live on your planet. I don't feel like I identify with you, and I don't think that I'm in the right mindset to enjoy the content you're making. So I've just kind of been watching like old war movies. So I watched the Last Kingdom. I watched the new Vikings Valhalla, and it was like, could you not have got actors that could have acted? Could you not have got actors that could have acted? Come on, Netflix, you got money. Buy actors that can act. All your other stuff is really good. Vikings Valhalla fell very low for me. It was like, no. It was just, I mean, I like the scenery, and I like to look at what goes into the costumes and stuff like that. But, like, the acting, it's just, I was just not impressed. So, yeah, it's been one of those days. It's been one of those days. And like tomorrow, I have a pancreatic medicine that I'm supposed to pick up. It's $148. I'll die without it. But my HRA account's dry because, you know, somebody sucked it all dry. So I don't know if I can afford it. You know, and at this point, not lying, heaven's looking real good. So, you know, I've just, at this point, my trust in man is depleted. Trust in man is depleted. And I didn't have a whole lot going into this because of my job in supervising convicts. But my trust in man is depleted. Sadly, it's a medication where they do not allow discount programs. It's a pancreatic medicine to where only one company makes it, and they do not allow insurance payments. So, yeah, we may just have to let that one go for a while and see what happens. But that's just the life I live. It's just the life I live. Trying to pay bills, trying to start this new insurance so that I can have a little bit better, decent care. Find out I've been stolen blind. And then when I tell people someone stole all this money, I did not authorize this, someone's gotten into this account, they're like, we don't really cover this side of law. Well, why in the heck did you go to school for 8 years and take the bar if you're going to be a useless piece of trash? I've said that more than once today, too. So, not had the best day. Not had the best day. I've got a lot of acid buildup on my stomach. So, not thinking the next few days are going to be very good without that medication. But you know, what can you do? Just gotta survive. And right now it's kind of on a neo, very fragile existence for me, but oh well. No one seems to care about me. All the people I pay money to care about my health seem to just really want me to kick it. So, I'm just in one of those moods today, I guess. But I get very cold. Like, y'all think I'm very warm and sweet, and I am. I normally am a very sweet person, but I have a very cold turn to me. When you supervise murderers, you have a different personality you can go into, and it's a very cold, distant, detached, where you're just trying to get through something you know that is troubling, and that is going to cause emotional harm if you spend too much time focused on it. And so I've been there today in my very cold, detached, hateful mood. But there's the so far in the back of his head. I've got to do up here, around here. And then I've got to paint his face and do the rest of his body, but I don't know. Met a lady today that works with my husband that made like $100,000 on Etsy last year. I said, what in the crap were you doing? Because I was like, it couldn't have been legal. What in the crap were you doing? I think he's very cute. I've named him Mortimer. And I'm going to pot my little variegated plant in him so it can grow. Because I have so many plants that need to be started. And I've got them in mason jars. And I really need my mason jars back. Oh, Priscilla, you're fine. I'm just being a butthole and whining tonight. But I'm going to figure out what happens. Because I know it was illegal. Because David never started anything. Never signed anything. David never... My husband does not go to websites. The only website my husband goes to is... it is a snareline.com company or something like that to buy his snare stuff. That's the only website my husband goes to. And that's just to order, like when he has to make more snares or he needs more lure or something, he'll buy it there. My husband does not go to websites. My husband does not start things like that. My husband leaves it to me, and because I was sick, he was just like, I'm just going to let it add up and we'll deal with it later. She's too sick. And lo and behold, it's gone. And Blue Cross Blue Shield says that they can see where it was billed, but it doesn't show up on any of my ELBs. None. They're not supposed to be able to link to the HRA. They're not supposed to be able to see what the HRA paid. They're two separate entities. I can't even find the company. The freaking factory that my husband works for is like, oh, well, it was Gardner or something, but I can't remember. We don't have a packet anymore, and I'm busy right now. And for 3 days they've put him off. I have called every Gardner, and no one will fess up to being this agency. So I know I got hoodoo. And I personally think that the people that bought this factory are in on it. But I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'll keep calling people, but I just keep getting told it's not our specialty. It's not something we want to get tied up into. It's not something we're used to handling. Well, to think outside of the mother freaking box, people. I tried to get the name and number from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they said they could not access that. They could only see where they had paid. So I asked for copies of everything that had HRA payments on them because my ELBs have nothing. We'll see if I actually get that in the mail because I highly doubt it. But I did request it on a recorded line. They're like, oh, well, we're a separate entity. We can just see that they paid. We don't have any contact information, and we're legally not allowed to contact them. But you know every penny they pay toward these bills? I mean, you know, I was born at night, but not last night. So, that's where I am. I'm back to the, I mean, I literally, I have moments where I trust no one. And my gut served me well when I was a parole officer and I dealt with dangerous people. And my gut is telling me right now I have stumbled across something that has screwed way more people than me. And I need to keep digging. And I need to keep finding the people that have been screwed. And we need to band together and do a class action lawsuit and send somebody to the goddamn pokey. And I guarantee if he goes to a jail where I've got people, I can find him a girlfriend. So I'm just kind of there. Just kind of there. So I've been in my very abrasive, do not look at me, do not touch me, do not enter my world, do not step toward me, do not even think about being aggressive toward me. And buddy, if you piss me off, you better run real quick and you better make it a zigzag pattern because I'm not happy. So that's where I've been today. And my husband, he was like, I've never been so happy to go to work, because he had to listen to me on all these phone calls this morning. And I think I kind of scare him when I get into that mood. But now he's seen me. He used to serve child support warrants. So he would end up serving a child support warrant at one of the parolees' houses that I lived, or that I supervised, and I knew where he lived, and my husband would not be able to find the home. And so I'd be like, I'm going to do a home visit, follow me, I'll do my business, and then you can do your business, and I'll leave. So here I go out. Of course, you know, he had a badge and an outfit, but you know, I had a bulletproof vest and all that good stuff. So here I go rolling out to do a home visit, knocking on the door. Have to knock on the windows. And I know you're in there because your chihuahua is not barking the right pattern because he thinks you're going to answer the door. He's not barking the right pattern as if I'm going to attack somebody. He's barking the, hey, mom, dad, answer the door. I said, you might as well answer the door. I said, I can sit here all day. I said, I can call for 5 backup. And I said, when you open the door, I can search your house and tear it apart. Would you rather deal with me or 5 other people? And they opened the door. And my husband would sit there and he'd be like, my God, you're evil. And I'm like, and these people killed people. I have to be evil. I have to be meaner than them. I have to get their respect. We have to have a mutual relationship where they know, do not poke the bear. And so he was always like, I don't think he really understood my job until he started serving those child support warrants. And then he was like, holy crap. He's like, I'm amazed you come home every night. No crap, I am too. You know, because then they give you a bulletproof vest, and I just looked at my manager, who was the stupidest man on the face of the earth and didn't even know. He made like a 64 on the gun weapon test, and I made a 99. Because they said a revolver has no safety. I said, yes, it does, because if you don't pull the hammer back, it won't fire. I fussed with him on that one. But I made a 99 on my test. And my boss, my management, made like a 60-something. He's stupid. Absolutely stupid. And so they give me my bulletproof vest. He's like, so here, you'll now be safe in the field. I'm not going to be safe in the field with a bulletproof vest. Well, this will stop up to a such and such round, such and... I was like, okay, listen, I'm a bumpkin. If I see somebody coming to my house that I don't want in my yard, and I don't care to take a human life, and I see them in a bulletproof vest, I'm just going to shoot them in the head. The vest is not going to do anything. But the thing was, is if you didn't wear your vest, then your family didn't get paid out your benefits. So you had to wear your vest. But is that not stupid? Like, for grown men to think that because they send you a bulletproof vest with a panel right here, that it's going to save your life? What? My head's wide open. And my boss looked at me and he was like, you scare me sometimes with the way you think. I'm just trying to think like the offenders I supervise. I mean, hey, if you're an evil person and don't care to take human life, would that not be what you would do? So, oh, Lord. Yes, I'm a strange person. A strange breed. But, yeah. I've had a strange life. And all I want to do is to freaking die quietly with a little bit of dignity and not a lot of worry. And the people that are impeding that are pissing me off. So now I'm going to have one big hoorah so I can exit this world peacefully. But I'm also taking notes because I'm probably going to write a big expose and try to get it published in a lot of Tennessee newspapers. So I'm taking notes because I'm going to write a story about this. I'm going to write a story about this. Heck, I may call Don Dare, the local news station. Hey, you know something? That's not a freaking bad idea. May do that tomorrow. If I could buy a billboard that said, I got screwed. Have you been screwed? Call me and we'll talk about how we both got screwed. I would do it in a heartbeat. So, that's where I am. You're going to have a haircut. Those are too long. We'll save those. But yeah, I thought I was going to be able to just live the last of my life with this disorder. Kind of going back to being a little country bumpkin and being happy and just chilling and enjoying the birds and the fields and the deer and the smell of hay and nope. Turds pop up everywhere. So now I'm going to deal with this. It's not fair. It's not fair, but if I'm going to have to do it, by golly, I'm going to go down swinging. So that's kind of where I am. But I need help if anyone has ever been through anything like this. Talk to people, ask people. See if anyone knows of any like lawsuits like this that has happened because of these things. I just want to know, because I know there's got to be more people out there that have been treated in this manner. And if we can start to put the trail together, we can start to figure out how to handle this, and we can start to build a platform to where people will start to recognize this instead of it being such a well-hidden little greased machine, and we can stop it. Thank you so much. I will check my Instagram as soon as I lay down. I'm literally calling everybody. I mean, all they can do is tell me no. I get told no a lot. It's not discouraging. So I just keep trying. But I am amazed. I'm amazed at the deplorable condition of the American health system. Well, no, I'm not amazed. I'm just sad that it is what it is. Because, you know something, with a potato and chief like we have, and, you know, the Clintons that Arkansas suicide everybody, and with Pelosi that does her, Biden who used Ukraine as a personal bank for years and wonders why Putin is trying to mow over it and take it back. You know, it's just kind of like we've allowed the world to get to a place to where the bad has overtaken the good. And it's going to take good people getting pissed to fix it. But nobody wants to get pissed. I need my safe space. I need to go into my room and ring my Tibetan bells and do my mantra for 5 minutes. There is a reason we have aggressive tendencies in our bodies. It's a fight or flight. And sadly, we've been programmed for flight. I have not been. So, I plan on causing as much grief as possible over the next few weeks until I can get answers. And hopefully find a lawyer brave enough. Because right now, they're all giant pansies. They're all giant pansies. They're a waste of sacks of manhood. I could have done more with those 2 little piddly things that God gave them than they've done. But no, I had to get ovaries. I don't understand that. So, yeah. Been calling a lot of people out today. Tomorrow will probably be the same. I will get back to my kind, lovable Mama Liz status as soon as I clear up this crap. But trying to build a network of information so I can fight this. I have PayPal. I don't have Cash App or Venmo because I don't like, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. So, oh, here, he's finally got his bangs now. So, he looks like a lion now instead of a possum. He will look like a possum eventually. I do have PayPal. And I don't, like, I don't like to ask for help. But, because I should not be in a position to have to, I should not be in a position to have to ask for help because I had $6,000 in an HRA account that should have been mine. I just want to grab somebody and just I'm so mad today. I'm so mad. And so you should not be put in these positions to where, you know, I mean, it's great that people want to help us, but you should not be put in these positions. And it's just like, you know, that's why we try to, David tries to tan hides and make stuff and sell stuff, and you know, we try to patch around, and there are months where my doctor is like, I'm going to order you to take double the dose, but you have the pill so it'll last for 2 months. I have a great doctor. He's very good. But, oh gosh, the PayPal. The PayPal, oh my gosh, it's such a long thing. I need to double check the PayPal. I think it's spurgirl at email.phoenix.edu. I think it was like way back in the day when I finished my master's at Phoenix because I couldn't keep traveling to UT. So I think it's under that. I will have to check. And I will put it, when this loads, I will put it in the description. I also have it linked under isbywaters@gmail.com, so that would probably pull me up. But I think it's Spurgirl, 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 because I used to train horses. Spurgirl at email.phoenix.edu. I'm pretty sure that's it. Sometimes I get the email and the Phoenix mixed up, but I think that's it. I'm really hoping tomorrow that I find an attorney with a brass set. I'm just gonna honestly, I'm tired of walking through the world as a woman and being tougher than most men. I'm tired of walking through the world as a woman and seeing men shrink and not keep the world a safe place, stand up against wrongdoings. I'm tired of watching this world fall to crap because men want to get in touch with their feelings. You can get in touch with your feelings without acting like a raving lunatic. And we have watched the disintegration of this nation to the point where legit everything about America right now is a money racket or a theft program from its taxpayers. And that's why Medicaid left me. They changed the parameters. We made $111 over the limit. That's really going to cover the $20,000 plus I need in at-home care, isn't it? Math. But they had to renegotiate that because of all the illegals that were being flown into Tennessee, and our governor has written so many letters to the president going, stop. And they're put on tn.gov for everyone to see. He's like, you're overwhelming our state programs. We can't do this. And so they've had to change the parameters of the state programs. They've lowered the threshold for the income. which put us $111 over. But by the time we both pay for the insurance and the medications and the out-of-pocket doctor visits, I mean, we're so far below the poverty level, but they don't care. It's gross. But they take it away from people that have worked their entire lives and paid taxes, and they just give it to people that just showed up. They just showed up. I mean, I don't have a problem with you showing up here, but do it legally, line it up, get you a job. You know, don't just show up and stick your hand out. I've never been allowed to do that in life. Why are we celebrating this group of people and allowing them to do that? It should be the same across the board. We should all be treated the same. If you want to be here, you work, you meet the parameters, or you don't get aid. And sadly, they have slightly changed the parameters because they've had to reduce the amount of people on so that they could offer aid to the new people coming in. And I'm like, that's not fair to the people that have paid taxes their entire goddamn lives. It's not fair. So, yeah, it's been the last couple of days have been a horrible freaking wake-up call. But you know, there are certain things you do in your life that you think you have a safety bubble around you because you create that safety bubble, and then you realize that somebody has walked up and popped it. And so I've just been really irritated because I call people and I'm like, I've had this stolen, I've had this done, and they're like, you don't really want to get into that. Oh, really? Because it's a federal crime. I would think you would really want to get into that. And I'm sorry, but we have just got a nation of absolute pansies. We have a nation of absolute pansies. We have people that will march down the street naked with flags and state their sexuality. But if you ask them to take a stand against somebody stealing from, you know, lower and middle America, and so I don't really want to get in on that. But if you could come support me at my parade where I get to talk about how prideful I am in myself and my sexuality, I would appreciate it so much. I'm so sorry you're getting, you know, stolen blind. I'm so sorry that, you know, people are just taking advantage of you. But I really think you need to come and celebrate my sexuality when I fly my flag and walk naked down the street. Think about it, people. Think about it, people. We've got more people that would go to a parade to watch naked people walk down the street and celebrate what they do behind closed doors, which should not amount to a hill of beans to anybody. It's behind closed doors. But when someone crosses a federal mandate and steals a financial health plan, you know, I don't really want to get in. I don't really want to get into that. You know, today's Thursday, and on a Friday at 2 p.m. I've got to go celebrate my friend's sexuality and watch him walk naked down the street and wave a flag. We have turned into a nation of utter idiots. Idiots. And when you get frustrated and try to straighten something out, I need to go to my safe space. You hurt my feelings. Well, if you're 45, you should already have had more than your feelings hurt. You should be used to this. This is how the world works. It's a tough place. Life sucks. Get used to it. But it's just, I'm just really frustrated with the last few days. Oh, I've had to take Creon. I've had to take up to 6,000 units of Creon a day. And that is the one that nobody will touch. You can sometimes get on a discount program through the people that make it, but they will not accept insurance. They will not do discount programs, and it can be between like $600 and $1,200 a month at least for the what I was on, and more if they have to take more units. I was on 6,000 units a day, and I was paying roughly $1,000 a month, and it was to keep me alive. And when I asked for any programs that wanted to help me pay this bill to keep me alive, crickets. Crickets. But Joe Biden will give out crack pipes and give them safe places to smoke crack and dose themselves with heroin. And no one will say anything about it because we're a nation of pansies. Gosh, I can't imagine that. Yeah, I was around 1,000, sometimes 1,200 a month. Yeah, that was, yeah. And that's why after that year and a half that I had to be on there, and now my pancreas is working much better, and I don't have to take it as often. And so I got a couple bottles in there, and my guy's like, if the acid gets too much, and I'm like, I know, I've got it, I'm good. But my pancreas has been doing much better lately. Knock on wood. The way my luck's been going, watch it falter tomorrow. Yeah, that was one of the most audacious medications that I had to take. There is no generic. There's nothing else. It basically is a life-saving drug because your pancreas will kill you. But if you don't have the money, you don't get it. And it's like, well, aren't you a freaking ray of sunshine? It's like if I were standing in the road with a tourniquet and there was a man that got hit by a truck and his leg came off, and I didn't step up and put that tourniquet on his leg, I could probably be sued for something or have criminal charges or something. But these stupid pharmaceutical companies that do this, they don't even get in trouble. They don't even get in trouble. And you want to know why? It's because we're a nation of freaking pansies. Nobody gets mad anymore. Yeah, no, that Creon that was my first introduction to, well, they would rather have you die than have you live, because they have the medicine that can help you live, but they want your money, and if you don't have money, they don't care if you die. And I was just like, huh, holy crap. I had a really good friend in Texas, and she was like super mondo rich. We became friends at a Queen convention. She was super mondo rich, and she paid for the original injections I had to have, and then for the start of the Creon, and then I paid for the rest, like the whole next year. We made it work, and it was painful, and we didn't have a lot. Our refrigerator was empty, but I was alive. And but I bless her for doing it. But you want to know, she's not my friend anymore. You want to know why? Because when the coronavirus hit and everybody was so upset, she would watch the news and get upset and then call me and take it out on me. And I was like, chill out. It's not going to be as bad as they say. They always make it sound worse. This is them trying to psyop, scare, create an emotional response, hurt us like animals. Just sit tight, think clearly, think rationally. If you get overwhelmed, go outside and realize the birds are still flying, the flowers are still blooming, the trees are still doing their thing, the weather's still moving, the world is still doing its thing. So don't rely on humanity so much, because humanity likes to create emotional issues. And she was like, I can't believe you would tell me that. I can't believe you would tell me not to worry. And I said, listen, they're not telling us the truth, or they're manipulating us for financial reasons, or they're trying to scare us into taking something because they have an ulterior plan. I said, just chill out, do you, try to keep a normal life. If you need to stay home more, if that makes you feel safe, you live in a gated community, that's fine, stay home. You have a swimming pool, you have a huge house, it's not like you need to go anywhere. And I said, just don't play into it. And she said, well, Bill Gates is involved, so it must be serious. I said, Bill Gates is involved because he's going to make a whole heck of a lot of money on whatever they make to combat this. You just hate him because he's rich. I don't hate Bill Gates because he's rich. I hate Bill Gates because he's evil. Let's get that straight. She could not get over that. She said, you just hate him because he's rich. Do you hate me because I'm rich? You've known me long enough that I don't care that you have money. That's never anything we talk about. That's not why we're friends. You know, she would fly me out to visit And she would be like, let's go party tonight. And I'm like, I'm a homebody. Let's just sit here and visit. I flew out. I've got 2 nights. Let's just sit here and visit. We don't ever get to talk. Let's watch movies. Let's sit here and visit. And let's just, have girl time. And she's like, I could take you out on the town in Dallas and show. And I was like, I don't want to go out on the town in Dallas. That's not who I am. She's like, I'll pay for everything. I don't want to go on the town. I just came here to see you. But she got in her mind that I was only against what was going on, and I was only speaking ill of it because the rich people that were trying to help, I was mad at them because they were rich. No, they're evil. Evil pieces of crap. And now everything's coming out where it's true. Has anyone seen the British, I think is it John Gilmore on YouTube, where they did the thing, they did in UK, they did the ivermectin and the remdesivir study? And did you know that you were 70% less likely to die if you were given ivermectin? 70% more people lived if they were given ivermectin. And YouTube, you can kiss my big fat butt, because it's an actual study that came out of the UK, and John Gilmore, I think is his name, the doctor, did a big thing about it. You were 70% more likely to live if you were treated for 2 days, with ivermectin. Remdesivir? Nope. Most of them died. But why did Fauci make remdesivir the only thing that you could treat people with? And why did they take ivermectin off the shelf and threaten doctors if they prescribed it and tell people, oh, no, it's horse paste. It'll kill you. I've wormed so many horses and put so many tubes of ivermectin in my mouth while I'm handling the horse, trying to get its mouth, and then I can shove it in. If that stuff was lethal, I'd have been dead 15 years ago. But they've now got the study, and I will, in the community link, I will actually link the video so you can go watch it. He reads through the study and the paperwork. He's a very nice doctor. He's been going through everything for 2 years, and he's very neutral. He just tries to go through the facts. And he said this is going to be the big deal of all of this. This is going to be the big lie that makes people revolt. He said because 70% of people that died should not have died. Because one cheap medication given for 2 days could have saved their life. Oh yeah, people were like, don't eat the horse paste. And I'm like, if you dial it down to, I mean, it's like stupid. And they're like, it'll kill you. And I'm like, are you freaking, do you know how many people that own horses that stick those tubes of wormer in their mouth because they're trying to hang on to a 1,500-pound animal to get it wormed? I mean, my grandpa used to put some on his pinky and put it in my brother and mine's mouth and tell us he needed to worm us. I still kicking. And I hadn't gone to the hospital in 6, almost 7 years until I got pregnant with my son. And I did not get super unhealthy until that boy attacked me with the axe. And that's when I started having the neuromuscular disorders. When I got attacked with the axe and started having all the leg surgeries and the nerve damage. And that's when everything started and everything spread. So I was the picture of health until 24. So yeah, and it's, I mean, and then everybody's like, but chill, we don't want to cause a problem. Oh, really? Because 70% of people that died could have been saved, but you don't want to cause a problem? You want to sit in your room and you want to cross your legs in that funny way and ring your Tibetan bowl and chant and say that it's okay? It's not okay. It's not okay. And it's going to take some people saying it's not freaking okay. Don't do this crap to us ever again. You know, I wish I had 5 minutes with Nancy Pelosi. She's outlived her usefulness. She's an idiot. She doesn't know her butt from a hole in the ground. All she knows is I make money in China and I make money in Ukraine and my son makes money in Ukraine and I set up everybody to start their pocketbooks in other parts of the world because I have power to know what's going on, and I stock trade because I know what's going on, and I've used my position to make myself powerful, and now I think I'm useful because I'm powerful. No, Nancy, you're not useful. You're not useful. You're bleeding our nation dry. You're useless. You're one of the reasons America is going downhill. The potato in chief is the second. Kamala Harris, who dated Montel Jordan, who is an attention whore, is the third. I can keep going down this list. Why do we have people like this leading our nation? Dan Crenshaw, everybody's like, oh, he's a vet. He's bought out. Look at the people who send him the most support money. They're the people that are buying out Twitter and supporting Facebook. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Pay attention to these people. Have some discernment. You know, this nation is not going to self-correct. It's going to take people standing up and saying, absolutely not. We will not live like this. We will not do this. And I'm not saying be violent. Don't be violent. Be vocal. Be vocal and be present. And demand the lifestyle that you're supposed to have as an American. I don't live in China. I don't live in Russia. You know. But, you know, and people are like, well, what do you think's happening in Ukraine? I think Joe Biden's personal family bank is being forcefully renovated by Vladimir Putin. And sadly, yes, people are in the way. Sadly, people are going to get hurt. But can you imagine for how many decades those people and those families have been starved and mistreated and done away with because they've been in the way of politicians that wanted to go there and make money? We've used Ukraine as a piggy bank for our congressmen and women's young people getting started. And that was wrong. We depleted them. We treated them like somebody treated my HRA account. And people are like, I can't believe that he's attacking. But I mean, if you look beyond the lies, the media, and you look at the actual reasoning behind it, you can see what's going on. They are tired of being misused and having all of their monies, resources misappropriated and misallocated by a country that doesn't do crap for them. The U.S. has not been the good guy in a long time. And that makes me sad to say that, because I thought I grew up in a country that was a really sound and compassionate country. The U.S. has not been the good guys in a long, long time. In a very long time. I want to get it back there. I want us to be the good people again. But we can't do it if we're okay with all these lies and all this mistreatment and all these, quid pro quos that we just turn our backs on, and all these politicians whose children who barely got off the tit and they're making $80,000 a month. I'm sorry. Don't buy it. There's something to be said about hard work and earning your way. And our politicians have not had to do that for a long time. And so we've got a soft bunch of politicians that think money is the end-all be-all. And they have no value for life. And we have turned into fodder for them. And we need to stand up and say, nope, this is not our America. We want it back. So, I don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. But I'm going to keep putting my energy toward talking about what's wrong. And I'm sure at some point YouTube will cut me, because if you're a decent human being, they try to cut you. But I will show up somewhere as a hillbilly heart again. Or you can get me on Instagram under Isby Waters. Or you can reach me at Hillbilly Furs or DNL Trapping on Facebook. But I learned that the corruption went a little bit more deep today, and was even close enough to me to be local, to affect me personally, and it ticked me off. So, that's what I learned today. You're preaching to the choir. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I hope as people come through and watch these, I hope some people get an idea. A lot of people go, you're just a stupid idiot bumpkin. You don't know. Listen, I have more life skills than you. You live in a concrete jungle. That's great. You have no life skills, because when your concrete jungle ceases to work, ceases to, to function, you will not know how to live. I know how to eat out of the woods. I know how to find fresh springs. I know how to plant a garden. I know how to skin anything I can hang in a tree. And yet you think you are the super authority. There will be a day of reckoning for these people that think that, their concrete jungles have made them, the primary predator. Not so. There will be a day of reckoning, and I don't think it's very far off. So, but yeah, everybody go to the Etsy store. I'm trying to put a bunch of stuff on there. I loaded a bunch of stuff. You did have a big order yesterday. Thank you. We're trying to put some more stuff on. I do have some more coyote pelts. I've got one I'm trying to take photos of to get listed. So hard to do photography when you can't bend your back over to do the certain angles, but I'm trying. I don't know if I'm going to keep him or post him. I don't know. It just depends on how cute he turns out. And then I may make me another one. I don't know. I think he's precious though. And you can imagine what he's going to look when he gets all his hair and his little, I'm going to put pink around his pouch and his little pink feet and his hands and his feet. So I may very well sell him. I've talked my mother into crocheting butthole cat coasters. Don't ask me how I did that. It was the weirdest conversation I've ever had with my mother. But she's like, sure, I'll try. So I think she's going to try to crochet some butthole cat coasters. They're adorable. Anybody that has cats will want one. And of course, Lane has got 2 commissions. He's got the Mastiff from Denise that he's trying to logistically figure out. And then another lady asked him about a large pair of scissors, like 48-inch scissors. So he's got that one on the back burner, but he's been trying to find the correct log for the Mastiff. And there is an art to this. There's a process to this, and it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort. So it's a process, but he's trying to actively get the materials priced, quoted, so that he can see how much then with the materials and how many hours of work he thinks it will be, what the price will kind of be. And he is a younger carver, so it will be much cheaper than the master carver that he apprentices under. But the good thing is that the guy that he apprentices under will actually help him. So it will be a very nice carving. Because if he has a moment and goes, how do I need to go about doing this? That guy will help him. So you're going to have a master carver helping him when he's doing that. So that's really good. It's a really good deal for people that are wanting to get in early on his carvings, because I think my son is going to be going places with his chainsaw carvings and his chainsaw artwork. I think that's going to be one of the things that he's going to be noted for. The guy that he's working under as an apprentice is kind of renowned in several states in a hub around us. So I'm very excited to see what he's doing, because he's always been such a little talented artsy-fartsy child. So it's nice to see him using his skills. I will be in a better mood in a day or two, but I just have to be in attack mode. I have to be in bulldog mode right now to take care of this. I have to set my nice side over here, and I have to just turn into a turd and handle things. And so I'm sorry if this is not like the normal uplifting video you normally get from me, because I cannot flip channels in my brain as efficiently as I used to when I worked for the state. I'm out of practice, and my health does not allow me to as efficiently go from I'm going to eat you alive to, hey, wait, you want to go to Arby's for a burger? I can't do that anymore. So this has been such a life explosion the last couple of days that I've just kind of stayed in a very angry persona, and it's necessary to protect me and to make sure I take care of this, but it means that I'm not super super nice right now. I bet I will work through it, and when I get it handled, I will turn back into the nice, sweet Mama Liz. But this is the channel where I have to live for the next few days to get this crap done. I have to have my brain back in legal law mode so that I can handle this. And so that I don't break when I talk to people. I have to. If you've ever been law enforcement, you understand. You understand that you have to compartmentalize, and you have to go to that. You have to be able to flip those channels in your brain. And I have to kind of live in the channel that I don't like, but where I function better to handle this. So I will be in a better mood later. But I didn't get to do any of my fun stuff today, so I'm going to try to finish this little turd up before David gets home. And then if he turns out pretty after I paint him tomorrow, I will put up the pictures. And then I'll decide if I'm going to put him on Etsy or keep him. I mean, he won't be super expensive, you know. But he's cute. And I think that people... There's apparently a possum fetish cult out there that I've just learned about. So I'm thinking maybe they'll like Mortimer. And they'll want to adopt him and start their vining plants in his pouch and make him part of the family. I get attached to the things I make, but at this point I'm going to have to sell everything so I can pay bills. Which is really sad because I don't have a lot to sell. The few pieces of taxidermy I have left I'm really attached to, so I don't think that's going to happen. So, but if you all would like to help, I'm not going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you that I don't really, it makes me feel bad. But I'm also at the point where I have some expensive medications I have to purchase that are going to hurt. And if you want to help, I would appreciate it. So you can reach out to me on Instagram at isbywaters. And I can give you my PayPal information. And once this loads, I will put my PayPal information in the description. But I would rather you, like, buy something. So that I earn the money. That's just how I am. But I understand that some of you just don't, you can't do that and you just want to send a little bit. I understand. Luckily, the money that Blue Cross found that they said they owed is going to help me pay the first month of the new insurance. So, that was a blessing straight from God. So that's going to help immensely. So when we receive that, that will help pay for the first month of the new insurance that starts. And that will give us a little bit of a leg up to prepare for the next month. And because they take a month ahead out of David's check for everything, and it will take us up to 6 months to get reimbursement for that. So that little bit of money is going to help us get a little bit ahead. And hopefully get my at-home care started and get my MRIs completed to see if my back is being overrun with my RSD. So that's going to help immensely to calm that terror that I've been having. So that's helpful. It's just living this month without that third insurance and now without the HRA that apparently was stolen. It's just getting through this month medications without starving. We received no other aid, none. So everything, you know, everything that we have, we purchase with our money that we make. We received no aid. And it's very frustrating someone that's worked their butt off and been injured and hurt and about killed in her jobs to watch my neighbors sit on the porch, never work, never hit a lick, never worry about anything, have more free cash in their hands than me and my husband ever have seen, talk on their food stamp phones, and buy $400 worth of groceries and unload it. And I'm sitting here going, that's how we ruined America. I even had the Blue Cross Blue Shield lady tell me that I could divorce my husband, live in the home, but be divorced and say we're separated, and that Medicaid would just look at my income instead of the gross household, because then we would be separated, and then I could keep my Medicaid. And I said, ma'am, you're asking me to disrespect the covenant that I made before God to the man that I love. How can you do that? That's the nation we currently live in. People wonder why families are falling apart. I refuse to disrespect my marriage and my husband. For a welfare program. I can't do that. That is not something that my mind, heart, and soul will allow me to do. But apparently it's done a lot. Apparently a lot of people live together, basically common law married, but legally separated on paper or divorced, so that they can each recoup welfare benefits, because then it splits to just one-on-one instead of gross household. And I think that's crooked as a dog's hind leg. I have applied for Medicare Extra Help, and because I'm not 65, there are basically no programs for me. I am buying a supplemental Plan G starting in April. And it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be much more beneficial and much more helpful. But as far as Medicare and any kind of extra help, aid programs, prescription programs, aid, nothing, because I'm under 65. Even though I have a terminal diagnosis, I'm under 65. So Medicare sent me to the SHIPS people to talk about if I could qualify for anything else, and they said, nope, you're $111 over the limit. That's why we had to let you go. You're on your own. And that's how all of this started. Which, I mean, I understand there's a limit, and, you know, but at the same time, the lady on the phone tells me, you could just divorce your husband and live together, but then we would only count your income and not his with you, and then you could keep all this, and you could keep all this, and you could keep, and I was like, I can't die and stand in front of my Lord and justify reneging on the covenant that I made to the man I love, that has been the best thing that ever happened to me, to get a freaking Medicaid insurance. I just, why? Why would that be a thing? I can't do that. I can't divorce my husband. I cannot disrespect the man who's taken such good care of me. I cannot disrespect the oath that I made before God to him. I can't. I won't. And if it causes me to die years earlier, I can't do that. I can't disrespect the pledge that I made to him. I made it to him before God. I can't do that. And it's sad that we're put in positions where it even has to be an option. It's sad that they want to create the breakdown of the nuclear family to create aid programs so that they have more control. I'm stubborn. But, you know, when my first husband was cheating and left me with toddlers to raise, and I was in a poor, pitiful place, when the good Lord sent me David, I knew I would never disrespect him. And I'm proud to be his wife. I don't want to not be his wife. And I don't want the state of Tennessee to think that they can con me into denouncing the covenant and the oath I made over health insurance. So I just can't do that. Can't do it. It's not something I am able to do. The thing that I am most proud about in life is being his wife. So I will not do that. I'm sorry that you were put in that position. That's sad. That made me cry. But I'm going to fight this. I'm going to fight this because I am I'm just the biggest turd for the job, I think. And I'm going to figure this out. And you better believe I'm going to blast it all across the nation. Right now I have Medicare A and B because I had Blue Cross when it all started, and they lied to me. They told me I could not have anything else. I did have to get a prescription plan. And then come to find out when I talked to an advocacy thing, I had 6 months where I could have bought a supplement and it didn't matter, that my husband could have dropped me, but they told me he couldn't. All of this has been a lie. And it's been a lie because it's been a money racket. And so the Medicare advocacy program and advisory board that I've worked with have straightened all of that out. David's insurance is terminating me. I have a loss of termination letter that's being sent to them because their insurance, my care exacerbates what they can provide. So I'm getting the Plan G started in April, which will, it might actually even save us a couple $100s a month in premiums, but it will cover much more, and it will cover my in-home care, my nursing that I need, and all that stuff. And so he straightened out a lot of this for me, and he's told me they lied to you. They lie to everybody. And so I've had to go through very specific steps to document that my health is worsened. I need all this. I can't afford it because the plans are not paying. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. Without this care, I will die. Therefore, I'm terminating this insurance. And since I'm terminating due to exacerbation of medical issues, and it's a loss of insurance because of that, then I'm able to pick up the Plan G. But it has to be very specific terminology before they will allow you to buy the Plan G. And so I've got all of that started. I've already got the new pharmacy thing ready to start on April 1st. It will pay, like the medicine that's over $100 and something I'm going to have to pay this month. Next month will be $49. Like, hello, hallelujah. I can't have, because I am under the age of 65, there are certain things I can't have in the Medicare world, which makes me mad because I'm terminal. I think I should be able to access everything because I have a terminal diagnosis. Hello, I want a perk. I want a perk for being terminal. I want a perk. So we've had to do the under 65, a very careful proof of really heinous health issues to justify the Plan G supplement. And so I'm having to pay for a supplemental insurance, but it is the supplemental. It is a Medicare supplement, and it is going to pay for basically 100% of everything. I pay $233 a year to Medicare, which is what I pay right now anyway, and then it pays for everything 100% except for prescriptions. I will have some prescriptions that I'll have to make a certain rate on, but they're still going to be probably $60 to 80% cheaper than what they have been for the last 7 years that we've had the Blue Cross Blue Shield. So things are going to get better next month if we can get through this month. Because now that I found out the HRA account is dry, and we have all these bills, and we have everybody calling and threatening. And when they call and they threaten me, and I'm like, take me to court. Take me to court. I will tell the judge, hey, I have this issue, this issue, this issue, this issue. I require this medication, this treatment, this, and this. You can put me in the jail. You can punish me, but you're going to have to provide my care, which is going to be so much more expensive than just caring for an inmate. So take my $10 a month and send me home and just shut your mouth. And then they're like, oh, crap, this woman knows her crap. So I kind of fuss with them and try to let them know you can't bully me. But whoever got away with this HRA shindig, I'm going to find them. I'm going to find them. I'm going to find them. They're going to have to look me in the eyes. And they're going to have to explain themselves. And they are going to have to see the face of the woman that they're trying to kill, who bounced back and is hopefully going to put them in prison. Because I am motivated. Motivated to make this happen. And I'm motivated to teach everyone else about this so that it does not happen to anyone else. Because that HRA account was supposed to stay locked until my husband activated it, requested the cards, disseminated the cards, and signed releases for billing with the specific agencies that he wanted the HRA monies to go to. And we did none of that. But our HRA account is gone. And it was used on Medicaid payments that should never have been paid, because once they bill Blue Cross, Medicare, and Medicaid, anything that's left over by law, by federal law, has to be written off, because that's the CMS agreement contract nationwide. It's illegal to privately bill to try to collect it, because they have to write it off. They just didn't tell anybody and billed my HRA account. Fraudulent. They forged documents. It's illegal. It's insurance fraud. And I can't believe that I'm having such a hard time with attorneys trying to find one that will take it. So that's where I am right now. It's been a rough month. So, but I mean, I'm just one of those people, you just got to keep on going, you know. Looked at my husband and said, well, this month may be the best diet I've ever been on. I may be skinny by the time we get all this figured out. I mean, you just gotta laugh at things, you know. Maybe skinny by the time we get this figured out, because we certainly won't be buying food. I mean, logically, we may put the trap out at the cattle farm and trap a hog and butcher a hog. That may be what we have to do. But in what world should someone have to make these decisions? It sucks. It sucks. So, I will put my PayPal information in the description, and if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, it is bwaters. I will give you the PayPal information. Please do not feel obligated. If it's going to harm you or going to take something away from you that you need, please do not. Please do not. But if you feel led to give, I'd appreciate it, because this is going to be the roughest month I think that we may have ever had in our 20-year marriage. Just to keep the medications going and food until we can get things switched over, because they're still taking the money out of his check for my insurance, and that bills like 30 to 60 days in advance, so it will not stop. So we're going to be at a deficit with his check. I'm going to be paying close to $500 a month for my new insurance. They're still going to be taking the several hundred out of his check for me until they can retroactively stop it and get it sent back. And so it's going to be rough for a little while. But I mean, we'll make it. We've been through worse. And at the end of the day, they can't, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, they can't eat us. When things look really bad, at the end of the day, nobody's going to show up at the door and carve me into little pieces and barbecue me and eat me. So I just try to remind myself about that. The world keeps turning. And somehow I haven't spun off of it yet, so we'll figure this out as we go along. But I'm going to try to finish up Mortimer, and then I'm going to go to bed because David's working. He's picking up as many extra hours as he can, so he's still at work. Haven't seen him for like 13, 14 hours. So he's still at work. So I'm hoping he gets to come home soon. And if I have any updates tomorrow, I will let you all know. I'm hoping to get some more answers tomorrow. Tuesday was a suck fest. It'll get better. It'll get better. Maybe I've been given this fight for a reason. I'd rather not have to fight at the health I'm at. But maybe it's just the fight that I'm supposed to fight. So here I go. I'll do what I can. Okay, I'm going to set up now so I can finish Mortimer. And then I will check in with you all tomorrow. I'm going to try to add some coyote pelts to the Etsy store tomorrow. I've got one that's cased, which like lays open like a rug. And I got some tube skins. And I've put some more keychains up. And I'm wanting to try some jewelry, but that's going to have to wait until I can afford to buy the jewelry kits. So that one's going to have to be pushed off for a while. I'm wanting to try some coyote teeth, beaver teeth, and some bone jewelry, some earrings. But that's going to have to be put off until I can afford the stuff to make them with. But we're going to try to get a little bit more fur listed on Etsy so that people have a little bit more of an option. We've been kind of trying to keep around 6 to 10 things posted just to keep the prices low on Etsy for the postings and to kind of let people fill out our shop. But we've been getting really great reviews from the people that are buying our items. They really like them. Like the last lady gave us an 11 out of 10. So they like our work and they seem to be tickled with us. And I'm hoping that that will take off for David eventually. So that he has an outlet for his fur, especially with what we learned at the fur trader event the other day. But we're resilient people. We'll make it. Oh, honey, my daughter graduates May the 20th. And that's been, well, you talk about that's been a burden too. She's pretty self-sufficient, but every once in a while she needs some help with some stuff. That thank the Lord that her fiance is a workaholic, and he's like, nope, don't ask your mom and dad, I've got it, because he knows how sick I am. They visit all the time. He visits with her, and he's just a super sweet young man. And once he saw my health and kind of the trouble that we were having, if there was something she needed, he was like, nope, I've got it. And I adore this boy. Like, she could not have picked a better man to have paired herself with. I mean, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at how sweet he is. So that's helped a lot. He really takes good care of her. And my son helps every little bit he can, you know, but he's a young man with a new business, running another business for another man and doing carvings, has a wife, is trying to get established in a new home, trying to get a new home loan, which, if y'all have seen the market lately, is atrocious. And And I tell my kids, I'm not your priority. Your priority is you, your life. Set your path. Worry about you. I will worry about me. I have good kids, and like Lane will come over with groceries and make dinner and like make me meals and freeze them and stuff, and I won't even ask. He'll just come over and do it. But I don't like for them to put their resources into me because they're both starting their lives, and that should be their priority. Um, but I have good kids. I have really good kids. No, I don't think my house would be a musical stop. And we're like an hour and a half. We're an hour from any interstates and longer than that from any large city. Um, One of my bonus children went to Belmont, and he met a lot of really good friends, and he brought him back to Jamestown to visit Mama Liz, that had kind of pushed him to explore his talents and stuff. And they were just amazed at how simple I lived. And like they could not compost it. They were like, this is like a different time. And I was like, no, it's just a simple life. It's just a simple, easy life. But he went to Belmont. He now sings with the Nashville Tenors and does physical, like he's a personal trainer. And we've been trying to get to work out to where I can do an interview with him. He's been so busy, and then I've been so sick, but he's been checking on me. But we're going to be doing that soon too, because he is so interesting. Such a sweet guy, and he's so interesting. So I want to introduce you all to him as well. And I've been trying to reach Ryan. He is in absolute whirlwind mode with everything that's going on in Nashville and all the new stuff. And he seems to be in kind of a tizzy state right now. And I wish I could reach him and be like, whatever's going on, center yourself and find, make a plan, and don't be in such a tizzy state. But I'm sure that when things calm down, he will be like, okay, yeah, and reach out, because he normally does check my stuff, but he's been so busy. I know he's not had time lately. I do not have a P.O. box because there are 17 steps up to the local post office, and I don't really do steps. So my husband normally does the post office. But I think my son may have one for his business, so let me check, and if he does, then I'll put that on a community post. Because I've never had a P.O. box. And mostly because the freaking post office is so hard to get into. I saw Ron posting on Summer Wells, and I told him I would love to talk to him about that. He has a lot of great thoughts about it, and then he has some thoughts that are just there to muddy the water that he's kind of gravitated toward. And I will tell you my thoughts on Summer Wells, and then I'll shut up. That family was still living in the underbelly of society. They were still actively involved in illegal activities. They were still actively involved in some kind of drug running, some kind of cartel, some kind of mafia, some kind of something. They were attached to ugly people in some way, shape, or form. And whether that little girl was sold, whether that little girl was kidnapped, whatever happened to that little girl, I will say that there are two things that stick out in my mind. Either something was fixing to come to light about what was going on in that home, and that little girl had to be disposed of, or they had done someone dirty. And when you live that lifestyle and you do someone dirty, your children are your biggest liability, because your children are the first things that they will take to punish you. And I grew up a lot when I was an officer near the Knoxville area, and that was such a hub for child trafficking. I had to grow up a lot and realize how absolutely evil people were and how they used children basically as financial transactions to get back at people. So that is what I think. Those are my two things that I gravitate toward. Because Don is way too comfortable, and he still has way too many mannerisms of someone still actively in that lifestyle. And then when he got into jail for his DUI, all of a sudden he wants to talk to an attorney. Really, Don. I did a whole video of like what I would say to Dawn if I could talk to Dawn. It's back on my playlist, and it still holds true. If Dawn Wells would watch that, I would be a very happy person. So those are my ideas on the Summer Wells issue. But I'd love to talk to Ron about it, because his brain clicks very much like mine, and I would really like to have a conversation with him. But I don't want to waste his time. I just want to do this interview for everybody. I don't want to waste his time. But I think you will enjoy talking to me, but I don't want to waste his time. But we'll get it done just as soon as things calm down for him. Okay, it's 1:22 in the morning. Y'all need to go to bed. I need to finish Mortimer and wait for my husband to come home. And I will update you tomorrow as to what has occurred. Bye, guys.